Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra Tutorials channel. I'm your host, Larry, and today we're going to be talking about how to crop video or an individual snippet or clip inside of Premiere Pro. And like a lot of things, there is an effect for that inside of your effects panel, which I've got over here in the lower left corner. If you don't see yours, you can go up to Window, and you'll want to enable effects right here. It's Shift 7. And inside of here, because what I want to do is, I forgot to move my OBS recorder from the side of this little video clip here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crop out the webcam, and then just put my wallpaper that I've already got here in Premiere in the background. So to that extent, we're just going to type in crop, and then we're going to click and drag this on the clip in question. And when I click on this clip, and I go to Effect Controls, there should be crop right here at the bottom of the list. Now you have some options here. You could just manually go I want to crop from the bottom, I want to crop from the top, and that would actually probably accomplish the same thing for what I would normally do. Then I could go from the right, and then I could go from the left, and then boom, we're cropped. But that's not quite as precise, and you have some other options here as well besides just removing from each side. So one of those options that you get, if I back up here a sec, is you can just use a shape. And when you're doing a shape, you can either generate an oval, and then you can remove everything outside of that. So we'll invert that, and then we'll just crop everything from the left. And then anything not in this circle will be cropped out. And I could do that. I could just be like a cool floating head, like I'm a thought bubble in like a cartoon with like characters thinking about something. That's definitely an option. Or I could just grab a little square and then just drag the corners to the corners of my webcam. That's another option. Or I could use the pen tool if it's a more complex shape, and then I could just manually draw the shape that I want to work with. And that might be the quickest, depending on what your workflow is, to get this done and ready. So now that I've got this shape done, there's two things going on here. If I hit the tilde key and zoom in, there's a weird little squiggle around the edge. I'm actually going to clean this up and bring it to the edge of the webcam here a little bit better. There's a little funny squiggle, and that's because there's a feathering effect on the edge of this selection here that I don't want to keep. And to get rid of that, there is an option here called Mask Feather, so the edges won't be blurry. Because if you feather it, that means it's going to like have a gentle blurring effect to kind of smooth the edge of the sort of masked off area, to make it look like a smoother transition, but I don't want that. I want that crisp, hard edge. And now I can crop. Now, by default, it wants to crop inside of my little selection here. So what I can do is I can just crop it 100% from any direction and then click the inverted button, and then boom, it's cropped. And I can then go up here to my branding folder, and I can grab my random low poly wallpaper, line it up to the same dimensions as that clip. It's a bit bigger than my original video, so I'm gonna scale it down in the effects panel. And then bing, bang, boom, we're done. That's all I really needed and wanted to do, was to remove all that junk from around the video. And that's how you crop stuff inside Premiere Pro. You add the crop effect, you make some adjustments to these settings here, and you're good to go. If you were curious what the feathering effect looks like that I was just talking about, I can feather the edge of this mask really hard. And you can see it kind of makes stuff fade in around the edges. In this case, because there's so much junk around the edges of this picture, you can now see part of the interface that was behind it. So I'm going to just remove that. But the whole idea is that it gives you like this slightly blurred edge here. And your mileage may vary depending on how you blur it. So if you just use it from one side, that's going to have a different effect than if you bring it in from all sides. So just so you know what it does. I don't really use it a lot. There's better effects for that, or just doing this in After Effects, or even editing it a little bit in Photoshop. So that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry. This has been How to Crop in Premiere Pro. I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and have a good one.